hedge the markets as if you're trading day stocks. And Germany is paying the price when they traded day stocks in this form. Yet my colleagues have learned nothing from that message and are about to repeat the same mistakes. Adding solar now because you're concerned that the Obama administration might shut down fracking is another concern that has no basis in fact. Repeated headlines that have said the administration actually supports it. I have a letter that came to me yesterday from the American Gas Association talking about the administration's opinion on fracking and the place it plays in natural gas and the place that we have in our state. So it's not, if that's not enough to convince you, let's be aware that this administration is not moving against fracking. So what's the excuse for forcing a utility to purchase power it does not need? This is the takeaway. Smart energy purchasers are better left to the experts with the long view in mind, not the social engineers. But that's what we're engaging in today, social engineering. You are engaged in Washington-style, feel-good energy policy. You're not making this decision based on economics or any rational public policy argument. Make no mistake about it, Georgia Power is acting complacent today because they have a number of issues facing them before this commission this year. Just last October, the CEO of Georgia Power said in the Athens paper, what we don't want to do is have the Public Service Commission to say we want to be green and accept a higher price that puts upward pressure on anybody. Our position is we're going to raise the price for everyone. Even if you don't want solar, you would be paying for it because of the elevated cost. Georgia Power customers have the option of buying blocks of green energy at that higher cost. One of the companies, as one of the company's 2.4 million customers, and one of the 3,000 that are buying into that program. By the way, I've just canceled that. But back to what Paul Bauer said, that says to us that we don't need to go out and buy a bunch of solar powers everywhere. That's less than a year ago, folks. Just less than a year ago. Paul Bauer said that. If you force Georgia Power to buy 425 megawatts of utility-scale solar, depending on what the bids come in at, that means we'll pay tens of millions annually in PPAs for powers that we don't need or use. And yet, surprisingly complacent and silent in this were our so-called consumer advocates in this state who just go in a tizzy anytime we ever change any policy, transfer $100, $1,000, certainly $1 million, and transfer costs for the ratepayers in the state. So for the most part, Sierra Club, AARP, Georgia Watch, PACE were relatively silent on this issue. All because somebody said solar, and it was a feel-good social engineering project that you had an opportunity to pay.